Life happens. What do you do?
This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal crash that happened in Carmel last night.
At about 9 p.m. Monday night, sheriff's deputies and investigators responded to Route 69 in the 800th block area where the crash took place. They say a sedan was traveling southeast at a high rate of speed. The driver of the sedan lost control, crossing the center line before leaving the roadway and striking several trees. First responders found the male driver and male occupant were deceased when they arrived on the scene. No names are being released until proper notifications can be made. The sheriff's office reconstruction, forensic mapping deputies, and detectives continue to investigate the crash.
Police arrested a man in connection with a burglary at Martin's in Calais. According to State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss, troopers responded to an alarm at Martin's on Main Street in Calais around 12 a.m. on Monday. Moss says troopers arrived at Martin's to find the front windows of the store had been smashed with a rock. Troopers located a man walking away from the scene on North Street in Calais. He identified himself as 44-year-old David Dean of Baileyville. Martin's supplied a photo of the suspect from their store video, which matched Dean's description down to his clothing and facial characteristics. Dean was arrested and transported to the Washington County Jail. He's charged with burglary, aggravated criminal mischief, aggravated criminal trespass, and theft by unauthorized taking or transfer.
Well, the Somerset County Grand Jury has indicted a Bowdoin man charged with hitting a couple on a motorcycle and then leaving the scene of the crash. Police say 62-year-old Edward McGuire was driving on the Boardman Road in Madison and failed to stop at a stop sign back in May. His vehicle hit a motorcycle driven by 67-year-old Daniel Kinney of Cornville. Both Kinney and his wife, who was a passenger on the motorcycle, were taken to a Bangor hospital with severe injuries. A witness followed McGuire to the Tupperwares Road in Madison and then notified police. McGuire was indicted on numerous charges, including aggravated assault, leaving the scene of an accident, criminal OUI, and driving to endanger. The grand jury also indicted 28-year-old Taylor Pelletier of Fairfield. He was arrested in August of last year after he allegedly fled from a domestic assault on a four-wheeler. Pelletier was indicted on 9 counts, including kidnapping with a dangerous weapon, aggravated assault, assault on a child less than 6 years old, and domestic violence criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon.
The Skowhegan Regional Chamber of Commerce is speaking out after the Chamber's former director has been charged criminally. It reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the community. 36-year-old Jason Gain resigned as the Skowhegan Chamber director back in January. Gain is accused of stealing thousands of dollars in funds from the Skowhegan Regional Chamber of Commerce, as well as the hospice volunteers of Somerset County. He was indicted by the Somerset County Grand Jury, and he's charged with 4 counts of theft by unauthorized taking, 2 counts of forgery, and theft by deception. In a statement, the vice chair of the Skowhegan Chamber, Derek Rosignol, said in part, quote, "We are now focusing on the future. We have a special group of board members that care about the community. We are in a stronger position than ever now to provide services, advocacy, mentorship, marketing, and support to our trusted members," end quote.
Well, Maine's highest court is breathing new life into a $1 billion transmission line project aimed at serving as a conduit for Canadian hydropower. The Supreme Judicial Court ruled today that a statewide vote rebuking the CMP corridor project was unconstitutional, sending it back to a lower court for further proceedings. The court has not yet ruled in a separate case that focuses on a lease for a 1-mile portion of the proposed power line project that crosses state-owned property. Central Maine Power's parent company and Hydro-Quebec teamed up on the project that would supply up to 1,200 megawatts of Canadian hydropower. But the National Resources Council of Maine argues the corridor doesn't actually benefit Mainers, as the power will be sent to Massachusetts for consumers there.
The Herman Fire Department is asking for the public's help in a post on Facebook saying American flags and service flags were burned in the driveway of the Herman Meadow apartment complex. In the post Monday, the fire department went on to mention additional vandalism was done to a resident's home in the nearby area. A neighbor who preferred not to be shown described what she saw.
The first thought in my head was like, he texted me, he's like, hey, just when you leave for work, be careful, there's a burnt flag at the end of the driveway. And then he texted, he's like, it's one of the thin blue line flags that the town of Herman put up. Who would go and do that?
If you have any information on the incident, you should call the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office. That number is 207-947-4585.
Well, the Bangor Rotary Club hosted its final speaker for the gubernatorial and congressional candidate speaker series on Tuesday. Bruce Poliquin spoke to club members about how he feels the state of Maine is in trouble. Poliquin says state funds have been spent wastefully and added that it has added to a rise in inflation. The former state treasurer and congressman said he would like to use his economic and business background to help older people retire.
I've come out of semi-retirement again to do this because our state and our country's in trouble. The way I approach all these issues is, okay, how do we fix the problem? But before we can figure out how to fix it, we got to figure out or observe how in the heck we got there.
Well, people can learn more about upcoming speaking events for the Bangor Rotary by logging on to bangorrotary.org. We certainly had another very nice day, but definitely a return to the hot and muggy a bit.
Yeah, I think today was just a reminder from Mother Nature that summer isn't over just
right,
yet.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, let's turn things over and take a first look at our forecast, see what's coming our way.
All right, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather is brought to you by GRF Real Estate Company, and let's talk about temperatures. Look at us today. 84 here in Bangor, 87 Millinocket. I thought we could do, or a couple of us could do 90, probably stopping just short of that today. And cooler temperatures are on the way for tomorrow because there is a cold front on the way, giving us a few showers and storms tonight as well. They're just now getting going to the west of us. This will overspread the area tonight, and we have quite a bit of rain to get through tomorrow into tomorrow afternoon. The severe weather threat's incredibly low with this, but still, a couple of these could get a little loud tonight into early parts of tomorrow morning. Our forecast then tonight, though, is increasing clouds, rain most likely before sunrise tomorrow morning, non-severe, with low temperatures down near 70. Your full forecast is coming up.
Alrighty, and coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, a new grant program is launching for small municipalities to make energy upgrades to town buildings.
And 2 Molunkus Township residents are working to bring a historic trail back into the spotlight. We'll have those stories and much more after this.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
Al, did you make that call?
Honey, we already have Medicare. Why do I need to call?
Alan, the Feldman said we may be able to get additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan right here in our zip code with $0 monthly premiums.
Honey, what do you mean additional benefits? We turned 65, we got Medicare. That's all there is to it, right?
I'm talking about Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. We have traditional Medicare, which is only Medicare Parts A and B, but not Part C.
Wait. So not everyone on Medicare is a Part C plan?
No, that's why we need to call, because there may be plans available with additional benefits that aren't covered under Medicare Parts A and B. We don't have a Medicare Part C plan which covers everything in Part A and Part B, plus extra benefits in Medicare Part C.
What kind of extra benefits?
There are great plans that may be available with extra benefits like dental, vision, and hearing.
Did you say dental?
Yes, dental. Medicare Part C plans could include dental benefits that help cover routine dental exams and teeth cleanings, plus dental x-rays, fillings, gum disease treatment, and dentures.
We need that. I'm calling.
If you don't have a Medicare Part C plan, call now because there may be plans with additional benefits available that are simply not covered under Medicare Parts A and B, like routine dental coverage. If you're on Medicare, you can call even if you called last year. We will check to see if there is a Part C plan available in your area with additional benefits. You don't get a plan with additional benefits automatically. If you're losing coverage, moving, or new to Medicare, call to speak with a licensed insurance agent. Remember, you don't get Medicare Part C benefits automatically. Call now for your free 2022 no-obligation Medicare benefits review. Call 800-413-8094. 800-413-8094.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. Efficiency Maine is launching a new grant program for small municipalities with fewer than 5,000 residents to make energy upgrades to town buildings. It will be paid for with money from the Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan, and the funds will be used primarily for initiatives that will reduce the consumption of heating oil and propane. It will also provide money for lighting systems and ventilation. The town of Norridgewock has already taken advantage of the program for 9 different projects in public buildings.
This partnership here is a great opportunity for municipalities to do what's right environmentally from the consumption perspective, but it's also saving the taxpayers and allowing their basic municipal services to thrive.
Well, he says his town has already seen a savings, of between 20 and 25%. You can get more information about the program at efficiencymaine.com.
Meanwhile, a long-forgotten trail will soon be added to Maine's list of tourist attractions. A.J. Douglas spoke to the 2 Molunkus Township residents who not only discovered the hidden trail, but fought to share what they call history wrapped in hope.
Robbie McKay and Nathan Nipula have worked since 2019 to revitalize the Pine Tree Trail. Nipula says he came across a sign while searching for scrap metal and later realized it was connected to a historic trail, which runs from Portland to Fort Kent. Since then, both residents have spoken to community members and advocated to legislators to reestablish the trail.
It's quite overwhelming, but exciting. The potential for communities to thrive and grow and people just have fun traveling it again.
There were several barriers which prolonged the process to reaffirm the long hidden trail.
At first, it took a little bit for people to see the vision from just 2 normal individuals with no association.
COVID was a big one. Really, that put us back about 2 years.
Advertising manager for the Maine Tourism Association, Michelle Shores, says the revival of Pine Tree Trail will give people yet another reason to travel to rural Maine.
To have the Pine Tree Trail as an option to be able to send visitors to get them away from the more crowded areas of the state and off the beaten path and to find the more beautiful parts of our state.
The Maine Office of Tourism will also assist by showcasing neighboring businesses along the trail.
Really highlight and do a little bit of destination development work perhaps in the communities that want it, to really highlight all the opportunities and the historical assets, the restaurants, lodging, everything along the route that we can highlight and we can help promote it.
The Department of Transportation plans to install 131 signs to better identify the trail by this winter. Communities are asked to visit pinetreetrail.com to learn more. In Enfield, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
All right, and there is much more ahead on ABC 7 News at 6.
Stay with us.
When outdoors, some people like it hot and some people like it cold. However, when indoors, most people like it comfortably warm. Choose a Boderas boiler from McCusick Petroleum Company to provide you with comfortable and efficient heat. They also offer sales and service on many brands of furnaces, boilers, and water heaters. McCusick Petroleum Company delivers oil and LP gas to homes and businesses throughout the Pequot region. If you'd like more information on pricing or service, call or stop by our office in Dover-Foxcroft.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running. And I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
Jason Aldean. Rock and Roll Cowboy Tour 2022. Presented by Wolf Moon Bourbon. Saturday, September 10th, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine, with Tracy Lawrence. Time marches on. And John Morgan. If I didn't love. ACM Artist of the Decade, Jason Aldean. Let's get this thing started. It's my kind of. On sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com or ticketmaster.com.
Last year, I cracked Biden's aggressive spending agenda. Now, I'm delivering on common sense reforms that are good for America, like lowering prescription drug prices for thousands of Maine seniors, preventing healthcare costs from spiking on working families, and opening up oil and gas production to lower fuel costs, while reducing the deficit by hundreds of billions of dollars. I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine common sense is back on the table in Washington.
This week on Wheel.
I grew up in the 80s watching the show. I was determined to solve those puzzles so that I could dream about what I'd buy on the Shoppers Bazaar.
Unfortunately, we retired all the dining room tables.
Plus, this week, one of these players makes a bonus round solve.
You got it.
That turns into quite the payday. And Scott struck it big on Wheel. Now he's using his winnings.
I said to my wife, let's give it away.
To change the lives of others. Hear the entire story this week on Wheel.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7. Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we are just 3 days away from Maine football's first game of the season in New Mexico, and as we usually do on a Tuesday evening, we'll bring in Tyler Cruz now. Tyler, you were up in Orono today talking to the team ahead of week one. So I'll ask you, what is the energy like heading into Saturday?
Hey, Dave, I was up there today. I mean, it was hot, but that has nothing to do with the energy. Not only is Maine preparing for their first game of the season, it's also Jordan Stevens' first game as a head coach. So everything is kind of amped up right now. The former Maine linebacker and captain, he's wrapped up his first training camp as a coach. I asked him about game one. Are you nervous? You getting any sleep? You pacing around, driving everybody nuts? He said he's a little anxious, but his main focus is just making sure his squad is fully prepared before hopping on that plane and heading to New Mexico.
I mean, certainly anxious to get going, get out there. I mean, practice, the preparation, that's where, that's where the work is. So that's where our focus has been, is making sure we have a great week of prep and really just making sure we have everything laid out for our trip so guys can really just focus on the game.
All right, sounds like he's not losing much sleep, and if he was, he wouldn't tell us anyways, right? Let's talk about the game now. They're heading to hostile territory here, taking on an FBS team, and they're seeking their fifth win over an FBS school in program history. So what are they looking for on Saturday now that maybe the stakes are a little bit higher with stiffer competition, I guess?
Yeah, good question, Dave. It is a bye game. I asked Coach Stevens about that. He said he just wants, regardless of the result, he just wants to see the brand of football he knows his guys are capable of playing. But as for the players, they really don't care if it's an FBS school, an FCS school, Orono High School, or the Patriots. I mean, they beat UMass last year, and they're going out there with one goal, and that is to start the year 1-0.
It's a little nervous, but, we're coming to win. Just because they're FBS doesn't mean we're coming to lay down and just go to play and get a check. No, we're coming to win, and, we come to start the season out right. That's what we're here for.
All right, so that one will be a late start because it's in a different time zone. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, again, at New Mexico. And then later on tonight, you talked with a couple members of the defensive backs, and that was one right there is Kazir Bugs Brown. What can you tell us about what we can expect later tonight in that story?
Yeah, I talked to Bugs. I talked to Shakur Smalls. They released the depth chart a couple days ago, and 3 of their 4 starting defensive backs are sophomores. I mean, Bugs and Shakur, very impressive freshman campaigns. They have 1 senior out there starting, but it's a young group. They're very pleased with the group and how they did in camp, so it should be kind of cool to watch this year. Stay tuned tonight for that story.
Yeah, and those were 2 big storylines going into last year. I remember it was like, who's going to be in their secondary, and these guys really jumped out in the scene. I remember Bugs had a big interception. You did a story on them last year, so again, to see them them kind of continue to make that progression, especially for a defense that was ranked 8th in scoring last year. That's not great, so definitely looking for more.
Yeah, they're going to need them, Dave. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tyler. So Maine's week 1 is just a couple days away now. The Patriots, though, they still have about a week and a half until their season kicks off down in Miami. And after weeks of training camp, guys jockeying for a position for a spot on the team, the final 53-man roster is officially set. The Pats needed to cut down roughly 25 players before Tuesday's 4 p.m. deadline in order to finalize the team. Some of the more notable names to get cut include the wide receiver Trey Nixon, running back J.J. Taylor, cornerback Terrence Mitchell, who was actually signed by the Patriots this past offseason, then tight end Devin Asiasi, wideout Lil Jordan Humphrey, and linebacker Cam McGrone also were left off the 53-man roster, all according to various reports.
The actual process is very difficult for all of us. Myself, certainly assistant coaches who have established a close relationship with their players and respect for their players because of their effort, work ethic, and commitment that they make to the team. But ultimately, 37 of those 90 players can't be with the team.
It's a good point. Definitely tough. And then just real quick, in New York Giants land, of course, Andre Miller, the former Old Town Coyote and Maine Black Bear, he was put on the IR last week, so he is secured with the roster, not necessarily on the 53-man active, but on the IR with the New York Giants. Alrighty, that's sports. Here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Thornton Brothers in Lincoln. Buy a new or used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram vehicle. From us today, you make the drive, we'll make the deal. And okay, so for us, kind of warm out there again today. It's kind of humid as well. These hours, though, are numbered as we have cooler temperatures on the way beginning tomorrow and pretty much 70s then into the weekend. But look at this, 84 today in Bangor, 87 Millinocket, cooler along the coast. That south wind kicked in again today. It got a little gusty out there as well. In fact, right now the wind's out of the south at 14 in Bangor, 7 Millinocket. Along the coast today, though, we had wind gusts near 30 miles per hour. Keeping it a bit cooler there with the sea breeze kicking in. Also kicking up allergies, right? So overall allergies are looking okay still. Tree, grass, weed, and mold all in the good category. We'll watch this grass one and watch the mold one again too, though. Likely creeping up beginning tomorrow and lingering into the weekend and beyond. All right, looking outside today, lots of sunshine. What a nice day, right? Temperatures in the 80s, summer's hanging on. That wind out there, the south wind, but now there's a couple of thunderstorms out there to the west. These will likely overspread parts of the area tonight, and they could get a little squirrely. We're talking about a couple of heavier downpours in there, some lightning, some thunder, maybe a few gusty areas of wind, but overall the severe weather threat's incredibly low with this. The potential, though, for some heavy rainfall tomorrow is actually pretty good across our neck of the woods, as all of this is moving in our direction. So ahead of it, the air is being squeezed out here. That's why we're getting a couple of thunderstorms to the west of us right now. This will overspread the area tonight, and by tomorrow, off and on rain showers pretty much all day long tomorrow. So for tonight, here we go, a couple of showers and storms out there. 7:30 tomorrow morning, looking at showers and storms out there again. Any of these will likely be non-severe, but could contain some locally heavy rainfall. And then it'll come through in a couple waves tomorrow, wave after wave, likely not finishing with us until later tomorrow evening. But then it gets good. Then it gets real good. It all kind of pushes out of here tomorrow night, and we're in for a very nice day for us on Thursday into Friday with cooler, drier Canadian air building in with lower dew points out there as well into the weekend and beyond that as well. Okay, so going forward rainfall-wise, this is a general computer estimate. We're talking a quarter to a half inch of rainfall generally across the entire area, but if you get under one of the heavier thunder showers late tonight or tomorrow, you could easily get a quick half inch to an inch of rainfall. Our forecast then tonight, though, is a few rain showers out there likely after midnight. Dense fog likely out there too. Look for low temperatures, muggy low temperatures down near 70. For tomorrow, scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms again, likely non-severe. Some pockets of heavy rainfall. High temperatures back in the 70s tomorrow. That's a change, right? With a south breeze around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast includes that chance for rain tomorrow is now likely. Thursday, though, look at partly cloudy, 75, cooler, drier Canadian air. Same story for us on Friday into Saturday and Sunday. The weekend looks great right now with temperatures hanging out in the 70s.
All right, let's hope that outlook for the weekend stays
where it's at.
Yeah, because that looks fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Come on down! Come on down! Come on down! You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
I'll take The Price is Right instant ticket, please.
Play The Price is Right instant ticket from the main lottery today. Win up to $250,000 instantly. Or enter for your chance to win a trip to Las Vegas for a chance to win up to $50 million in the Come On Down Challenge. Come on down!
Tonight, the global flooding and wildfires. Is the U.S. prepared for extreme climate change? Plus, can UN inspectors help avert a nuclear catastrophe in Ukraine? World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched program on all of television.
You want to feel important, to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we joined the Army National Guard. Take on your legacy.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
This week on Jeopardy! Relive some of the greatest games of the season.
Well, this is very interesting.
With 4 of Super Champ Mateo Rocha's historic wins.
You look like you can't believe it. I can't believe it.
And an amazing win from 16-game champ Ryan Long with a little help from a lucky charm.
Perhaps it was the beaded necklace handmade for our champion by his 8-year-old son.
The road to the Tournament of Champions. This week on Jeopardy!
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
Well, amid an increase in overdose deaths, advisors from across the state of Maine came together to discuss the ongoing problem. Matthew Jurancic has more.
With Wednesday being International Overdose Awareness Day and the month of September being National Recovery Month, Penobscot County Cares held a call to action forum over Zoom where members had the chance to speak about the work that needs to be done to address the overdose crisis. Together Places peer-run recovery center executive director Sean Faircloth says that the state needs to do a better job fixing the problem at hand.
I would suggest that a next big challenge for the entire region is this area, which is these lower numbered streets in Bangor.
Panelists for the forum included top representatives from Penobscot Community Healthcare, Wellspring, Peer-to-Peer, and others. Those who spoke were asked about the services they provide and what they believe is working in the area, the challenges presented by the current crisis, and that the city needs to do a better job supplying these organizations.
We need more treatment beds. We need more mental health services. We need more affordable housing first options, and low barrier services.
Faircloth highlights that Penobscot, Washington, and Piscataquis counties have the 3 highest overdose rates in Maine. According to Wellspring Executive Director Suzanne Farley, many of these agencies are managing on what they are funded, making it harder to offer these necessary resources.
Housing. I will stand on that platform for a lot longer time. I think it's a huge issue for me. I believe that we really do need a larger stock of affordable housing.
Reporting from Bangor, Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Finally tonight, a lot has changed over the last 91 years in the town of Palmyra, and no one knows that better than Natalie Rhines. She's the town's oldest resident who was recently honored with the Boston Post cane. Our Jody Hersey has the story.
We moved over here when I was 3.
Natalie Rhines has lived in the small town of Palmyra for 89 years. Now, at 91 years old, she is the town's oldest resident and newest recipient of the Boston Post cane.
We try to keep it a secret if we can. Sometimes it's hard to get people here without really having to tell them.
It came as a complete surprise to Mrs. Rhines, who had an appointment at the Palmyra Community Center earlier this month.
I had to see the AARP man, and he was 2 doors up.
Once her AARP paperwork was completed, members of the Palmyra Select Board were waiting in a nearby room to present Rhines with the Boston Post cane while her family looked on. The Boston Post cane tradition began back in 1909 by the publisher of the Boston Post newspaper as a way to honor a town's oldest male resident, with the understanding that the cane belongs to the town and not the man who received it. It wasn't until 1930 when women became eligible for the award. The last 4 recipients of Palmyra's Boston Post cane have all been women, including Rhines.
The Boston cane is just honoring the history of people from Palmyra and having respect for families that stay in the area and love the town, and I believe Natalie did.
And she still does all these years later. In Palmyra, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And of course, a big congratulations to Mrs. Rhines, 91 years young.
Yes, absolutely. What a recognition there.
Indeed. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Good night.
Good night, everyone.